By the power of Greeeey Skull! Hello guys, Adam here from Not Toys Action Figures, bringing you another action figure review, and boy do I have something different for you today. We've done a lot of Power Rangers, we've done some Black series, but for the first time ever, boom! We are going to be doing some Master of the Universe Revelation by Mattel. And yeah, this, maybe you can't tell on the screen, but maybe you can see my reflection there, how far away I am, because these boxes are absolutely massive. And they are, I don't know, like they're kind of, I think they fit well to the Masters of the Universe kind of theme, that everything is like macho and huge. And, you know, look at He-Man's huge muscles there, because the boxes are mega chunky, kind of like probably too much packaging for what they need, but still they have some cool aspects. Like look at the artwork there of He-Man on the side. They have a nice kind of artwork piece on the back of him. Like they say, you can't get it in there, but you can see this really cool lightning effect, or this lightning, I guess, artwork. Here are the other characters in the collection. There is He-Man, Mossman, Skeletor, and Evil Lyn. I don't know what it's like for you, but getting hold of these is kind of weird. Like on Amazon, it's kind of a bit like a bingo. Like when they pop up, they pop up with like just lots of different ones. Like right now, I think I can get Man at Arms as well, but I haven't seen any videos of people reviewing Man at Arms yet, so I'm not sure if it's out everywhere else. But yeah, it's kind of cool to see them pop up. I also have Teela, which will be the next video that I'll be making today. Teela looks very cool. She was my favorite character in the show. And yeah, I mean, in general, what did you guys think of the show? Before we get into the opening, I actually really like Masters of the Universe Revelation. Like, I'm not such a big Masters of the Universe fan. Like, I remember watching it as a kid, but not really being that into it, other than He-Man. And I used to have some He-Man toys, but I remember I think I got them from like a charity shop, you know, where I just bought like my grandparents, I think, bought a big box of toys for us. And yeah, but I actually really like the new show. I like that Teela has kind of so far has become the main character, because I think she's a bit more interesting than He-Man and Adam. You know, his story is what it is. Her story is a bit more fleshed out. She also has this cool like saber thing that, you know, turns into a sword, or you can see the spear, and I'm happy that they included everything there. But yeah, without further ado, let's get the box, or let's get He-Man's box open and get him out. Let's see if I can work out how to get in there. So I couldn't find scissors to open the box with, so I'm actually going to use this compass that is in the drawer next to me. Hopefully it works. And yeah, actually, now that I think about it, I'm not going to keep these boxes because they are so chunky and they're not going to look very good on my display. Like I like keeping the Lightning Collection boxes, but these ones, yeah, they're too big. But anyway, let's get into it. More tape. And more tape. Drum roll. Yay. Okay, so we finally got him out of his entombed packaging. There was a lot of sellotape there, or I guess, yeah, what do you call it in America? Sellotape. In Austria it's called Tixo. But yeah, there was a lot of it keeping him in there, and we got him out, and yeah, he feels massive, especially compared to Lightning Collection and Black Series figures. He's a big boy. He reminds me of a lot of like, you know, back in the day, those toy soldier figures where, again, you know, you had the monsters on one side and then you had the soldiers on the other, and they were also like big and muscular and kind of disproportioned as like, these are boys' toys. And this is kind of how He-Man feels. But you can see here, yeah, we got him out. He has his shield, we have his sword. He has some really nice detail on him. The shield kind of slides in nicely. What I really like is that he actually has a shield hand, you can see. The problem is the shield is a bit loose. I'm not sure if I've got it on wrong. But yeah, it does feel a little bit loose. So when you move it around, it kind of feels like it's not really secure. I'm not sure. We do have this hand. But I'm pretty sure that's a hand for his, to hold the sword if we want to get it double-handed, which I'm going to try later on. But yeah, he does look really, really cool. Really nice out of the box, and like I said, the shield is kind of plain, but I mean, it is what it is. That was kind of the thing with He-Man, why I didn't really like him as a kid, or the toys as a kid, because I felt like all of the figures kind of looked very similar. And they all just kind of looked a bit plain, and some of it carries over here. Like, for example, the sword. The sword is this, and this is it. It's just a, you know, like a single piece of plastic, not with really any detail on it. And then you have kind of the hilt here that looks like it's wrapped in leather. And then, I mean, that's also kind of how the sword looks in the show. And I mean, how it always has looked was just like one very simple sword. But now that they, in the Revelations show, they've kind of put some story behind it and how to reforge it. You'd think they'd put maybe a little bit more effort into making this sword stand out a little bit. And yeah, and the shield, like I say, this could be any shield from any show, I guess, or from any toy collection. I guess you could even put Captain America's shield on there if you wanted to. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe just something to make it look a bit more realistic and not so much like a toy, if you know what I mean. Because there's, especially with Lightning Collection and like the Hasbro products, they put so much effort into, or more with like the Black Series, you know, like weathering stuff. And it would have been nice, you know, if this was a bit darker and then you had some lighter tips on top of these studs to show that he'd been, you know, like a sword had been hitting off it and chipped off the paint, so you can see the steel underneath, just so it looks a bit more realistic in some way. And when you look at the shield on the painting here, like something like that would have been cool. Like, it's not even the same shield. Like, this one has this kind of boss in the middle here, which this one doesn't have. And yeah, like, just something, this looks awesome. If this came with it, then I'd be really happy. But this just feels like a Master of the Universe shield from the 80s. But the figure itself is kind of the opposite. Like I say, the body is what it is. Like, it is He-Man. He has the pecs, but I really like the sculpt on his face. The eyes look really nice as well. Like, mine look really centered. There's no kind of like weirdness to them. The hair too, I like that there's some wash in it here to kind of, you know, give it a more realistic feel. It's not just one blob of yellow plastic on his head. And then you move down to this harness over here with the new He-Man logo. Again, this feels a little bit cheap. Like, okay, it's just, it looks plastic. It doesn't look like a, you know, like it's actually a piece of metal. It looks like plastic. And then there are these grooves on here, which also are just a bit like, okay, they could have maybe done something a bit more interesting there. You have the buckles on the back, which I think are removable if you pull on them hard enough. Yeah, so you can take this off if you want to have, you want to save yourself €30 and have Savage He-Man. There you go, done, already have him. Yeah, and we move down to his loincloth, which again, it has this gold on, but it's just, the gold needs a wash on it too. Like, it's just so too plastic. It looks too plasticky. It just needs something on it to say, okay, here are some shadows, here is some wear and tear. Same with the buckles, or the bracelets, I should say, on his arms. And his feet, actually his boots don't look too bad. I like that they added this piece of fur, or yeah, I guess it's fur on top. Again, some straps, but that are there. But yeah, it's fine. Like, it's a fine model. Like, I do really like the look of him in general. I just think there's some stuff that, yeah, maybe Hasbro just does better, especially because these figures are more expensive. Like, in Austria, usually Lightning Collection and Black Series cost about €25, and these are closer to 30, depending if, you know, you get lucky and find one a little bit cheaper somewhere. But yeah, so, and I think that's because these are 7-inch actually, not 6-inch like the Black Series ones. But yeah, let's quickly go over his articulation, and then we can yeah, put him in some poses. So his head has kind of like almost a 180 swivel on it. It has some tilt. It has quite a lot of tilt down actually, and a little bit back. His arms, which is kind of weird. This is just like a real ball joint. It doesn't. Oh, it does lift up. There it is. I was looking for this. I was like, where is the joint to lift his arms up? Okay, so his arm goes up to here. Oh, his hand fell off. Then, which is kind of cool, he has this swivel here on his bicep and tricep. On the arm, the elbow is double jointed, so you should be able to get it to go further. But the problem is his biceps are so swole, and so is his forearm, that you can't really get it to move any further forward. The hand is, yeah, as you saw, removable. This hand, oh, it does have some tilt on it too, so so you can tilt it and swivel it. His chest, he has quite a nice bit of crunch on the chest, pushing him back. There is a ball there as well. And we come down to his legs, they have the thigh swivel like the Lightning Collection figures do. He also has a double jointed knee, which you can bend back, so he has kind of like a nice bit of kick on it. The leg goes up this far. Oh, sorry He-Man, don't want to post up your loincloth on YouTube. Then on the foot swivel here, we have some tilt here, and it's also a little bit of like a rocker on it, but that's it. But yeah, that's He-Man. Let's put him in some more poses, and yeah, I'll get back to you. By the power of Greeeey Skull, he's calling down, or Prince Adam, Prince Adam, right? He's calling down the power of Greeeey Skull to turn him into He-Man. Very cool. I added this effect from the Lightning Collection. I can't remember whose effect it is. I think it's from Byyyy, actually. But yeah, it works perfectly with this to call down the power of Greeeey Skull to turn him into He-Man. And yeah, one thing I actually forgot to show you was also this bracer that is on his arm. You have to remove it to put on the shield. But yeah, very cool. Yeah, nice. I like it. He looks pretty good calling down the power. As always, these Lightning Collection effects are a little bit flimsy sometimes, so they fall off. But yeah, I think that looks kind of cool like that. What do you guys think? There he is, a nice big wide shot for you. I actually think I want to get like one of these turntables, so I don't have to move the camera around, because yeah, I know my filming skills aren't the steadiest, but you can see some of the detail there. Obviously the sword looks a little bit wonky in his hand, but never mind. So yeah, let's put him in another pose and get back to you. So here is He-Man ready for Skeletor, resting his sword on his bracer there, ready to pounce in some kind of, I don't know, parry attack. Yeah, he is a big boy. He's a very big boy. He has some big muscles. I was trying to get him into a two-handed pose, but he is just too swole. He's just been hitting that gym too hard, and yeah, it's kind of hard to get his hands together. Also, the sword hilt is quite short, so you can't really get him there. But yeah, let's put him in one more pose, and then we'll end the episode. And finally, here he is with a slash followed up by a punch. And yeah, it's cool. He's my first new kind of figure outside of the Hasbro stuff. I like him. I really like the series. I'm glad I picked him up. Also, shout out to Sean Solar 8, because he reviewed a lot of these figures, and it kind of pushed me on to pick them up myself. Also because they're quite easy to get here in Austria compared to the Hasbro stuff. Like, Hasbro stuff is always a pain to get. Because yeah, you have to order it from the UK or from Germany, and then there's all sorts of extra prices put on. But these guys I could just order from Amazon, so I'm really happy I picked them up. But yeah, let me know what you think. Are you collecting the Hasbro? Sorry, not Hasbro. Mattel Masters of the Universe Revelations. Also, what do you think of Masters of the Universe Revelations in general? Do you think Kevin Smith nailed it? Do you think it needs some work? Are you looking forward to part 2? Since Skeletor now has the sword. Yeah, it's going to be cool to see what happens. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a like, especially if you like Masters of the Universe, because in the next couple of weeks there will also be the Teela video, and I'm looking forward to kind of posing these two characters next to each other and having some kind of more dynamic poses. But yeah, like I said, if you want to see more of that, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.